My name is Angelica Jacella, and I have a message for all humans. I am a human earth angel, and Angelica Jacella noticed many humans not wearing the mask, not doing their part to prevent the spread of COVID and the variant strains of it that exist in the world. Many people over the years, especially in well-known even coffee shops, restaurants, many of them. Many people are not wearing the mask. Some are vaccinated, some are not. Unfortunately, after 100 million people died in the world and suffered 2 weeks before that, when they caught the coronavirus and variant strains of it, there's still so many people not wearing the mask. There's so many people disrespecting the lives of other humans, endangering the lives of others. That are other humans, that are parents, that are children, the lives of animals, they're endangering and other living creatures, potentially hundreds of millions. It is the job of every human to care and respect their own health, and to respect the lives and health of other humans and all living creatures at all times. All humans have the dignity of God within them to be respected at all times, and all living creatures, all animals, pets. There are humans that can't easily fight off any viruses. There's the elderly, the little children are most vulnerable to catching viruses and can't easily fight them off, especially if they are not immune to them. Every human, please keep in mind, don't be stupid. Take the time, a few seconds, educate yourself about what the coronavirus is, what the variant strains currently in the world are where you live. Please always wear a mask in public, especially when you are near people. Even if you are triple or have the 4th booster shot vaccinated. Just because you have 3 vaccines or the 4th vaccine booster shot to further protect yourself with the antibodies against the coronavirus and the exact strain that you were vaccinated against, and the other variant strains that you were vaccinated, doesn't mean you are immune to any other variant strains of the coronavirus that currently exist in the world. Please keep this in mind. It is beyond disheartening and saddening to see how millions of people in schools, elementary schools, on the way to school, in cafeterias, in coffee shops, even such well-known as Tim Hortons, and other 100 million restaurants in the world. And I'm in Canada, in Ontario, and after almost 4 years of the coronavirus and variant strains, and all humanity knows what happened. Many millions of lives were wrongly affected by this dangerous, very harmful virus to human health. Many people lost their lives after suffering horrendously for 2 weeks, what no human should live through. All humanity saw this. All humanity crying. But there's 100 million people neglecting now after so long, and they know, unfortunately, there are variant strains in the world. There are no cures. There are no vaccines to protect humans from these variant, mutant, these different strains of the virus, the coronavirus. I went to a coffee shop, well known, even Tim Hortons. I cried my eyes out. After a huge worldwide effort, many people's lives were lost. 100 million suffered. Children, old people, the most vulnerable, sitting even with parents, not even a meter away, a few feet away from one another, sitting there talking, smiling. None of the staff, and when the humans entered, children especially, and the old people, and the other adults as well, none of them were screened for their proof of vaccination of the third or fourth booster shot that protect against the coronavirus and the certain exact variant strains of it. All the staff had masks on, and when I stated to them that there's human lives in danger here, and especially to comment to let the child, even a child, the parents know, to ask if they were vaccinated, to remind them about the virus that no human wants to get. They didn't. They went and questioned their supervisor, and then they told me that I have to contact the head office of Tim Hortons. They made rules that the staff had the masks on because there's humans working with them, near them, less than a meter away, which is already endangering lives as it is, even if triple or fourth booster shot vaccinated, because there are variant other strains of the virus in the world. And they are working with food and drinks, beverages for hours. And the staff have all masks on, but there were over 25 patrons there, humans eating food, breathing air in front of other humans and children and old people for sitting there for over an hour each, with 4 to 5 people at each table, and not one of them were screened when entered if they even had a booster shot, third one or the fourth one. All of them had their masks off and laughing, talking for over an hour each. 5 people, as I stated, at each table, most of them old, most of some little children, the parents smiling there, and every human heartless. After 100 million people suffered and died. And I tried to find contact information for the Tim Hortons head offices. It's almost impossible. This is beyond wrong and heartless and disrespectful of human life. And there are many other Tim Hortons and other restaurants, well-known names, after humans suffered for over 100 million lives lost for over 4 years. The humans are still eating there. Most are not being screened anymore before even entering a food place where humans take their masks off to eat food and internalize beverages for a few minutes, half hour at time. They're not even screening humans to make sure that they sanitize their hands when entering. I went and mentioned myself to the parents of a child, at least to potentially help and save a life of a child and others. The parents looked at me and said, "We'll take it into consideration," and smiled. Even the grandparents smiling there, and a child I cried my eyes out and left. When humanity doesn't, and I informed them that 100 million people died, and if they get a virus in a child, I don't want to get ill and other humans die suffering from it, then I left. I can't do anything. So I'm advising every human, please be smart. Other human lives are affected. If you're being stupid and heartless, then don't go out to other public places where there's food, and stay home. Don't endanger the lives of 100 million people. Human lives are to be respected at all times. And companies, please smarten up. Money is not worth making to sell food in well-known companies such as Tim Hortons and other restaurants, endangering human lives. How dare you? You endangered the lives of little children. You endangered the lives of old people that cannot easily fight off and are not immune to the coronavirus. You endangered the lives of your employees. You don't even have your employees screening patrons when they enter. You have no respect for any of your customers. But when you get a coronavirus, then you'll learn. You don't want coronavirus and suffer and die, but you are neglecting the health and rights of humans to be respected, your customers, your employees, all lives you put in danger. So hire employees that care, or close down all your Tim Hortons and save lives. Respect human health and lives. And those humans that are religious are not. Angelica, I'm a human earth angel, and I speak the truth. I suffered alone over years. There is no God on earth to heal anyone, it's true. So everyone care for your lives, please. Stop going to places of worship. It is not worth endangering a human life and potentially 100 million people, especially in Canada and the States. It is colder temperatures now, coronavirus rather, and the variant strains easily spread even more. The other parts of the world have high temperatures and their lower temperatures in these seasons. The virus does exist, and unfortunately, there are different variant strains of the coronavirus with no cures, no vaccines. And if a human gets them, they are these variant strains. Some are worse than the coronavirus, with worse respiratory and other health concern symptoms that no human wants to live through for almost 2 weeks, and then human potentially dies. 2 weeks of human suffering is a very, very long time. So please keep in mind, no human wants to get the coronavirus or any other variant strains. Even if a human is, as I stated, triple vaccinated or has fourth booster shot that has built more protection antibodies against the particular exact strain of that coronavirus you are vaccinated against, and then have further put some protection rather against the fourth variant strain of the coronavirus that you were exactly vaccinated against, doesn't mean you are immune to any other variant strains of the coronavirus. That means you're not immune from any other different forms, mutated, that means changed forms of the coronavirus, also known as SARS-CoV-2, COVID-19. These are variant strains: Delta variant, Beta variant, Omicron variant. There are various different mutant changed forms of viruses and other ones that do exist in the world. So it is best, and I, Angelica, seen this in the world, and I care for human health. Am a human earth angel. I am a human on God's side, telling all humans, religious or not, please keep your distance 2 meters away from humans, even if you have a mask and are triple and fourth booster shot vaccinated. Even while wearing a mask, humans still breathe air. And any virus that is spread through the respiratory tract of human breathing, such as the coronavirus and variant strains, even while human is wearing a mask, on the sides the air does escape and can travel more than a meter to another human being or a living creature on surfaces, plastic, any other packaging surfaces, tables, different surfaces, and exist even on human hands, skin, for long certain amounts of times, hours to days at times. So humans, that's why always have to sanitize their work areas with proper sanitizers. Humans, when they water their hands, it's best with warm water, not too hot, for 10 to 20 seconds with proper soap to kill the virus off the hands and wash it down the drain. Humans going to public places use hand sanitizers proper to their health, to put a coin-sized amount in their hands and distribute it on their hands equally on the skin for a number of seconds as needed. And humans should stay away from all places of worship. God does not want humans to be ill. God does not want humans to go and risk their lives traveling in too cold or too warm temperatures to worship Him. To go to travel long distances to risk their lives, potentially getting the coronavirus or other variant strains of it. To go worship Him or Jesus to get His sacrament, such as Catholics on Sundays, other religions. Angelica advised all religious leaders, and Angelica have this message to the Pope Francis. I am a human earth angel on God's side. Close down all religious places of worship. You have not been doing your job, and I have human living proof to see this on this earth for over 4 years. Every Catholic church needs to be closed down. During the coronavirus and the variant strains while they exist in the world, Islamic mosques need to be closed. Jewish synagogues need to be closed. Buddhist temples need to be closed. Other places of worship that the Hindus go to have to be closed. There are no worship times allowed. In these worship places, that most even Catholics have masses up to hours, that will endanger the lives and health of 100 million people. A lot of people are being stupid. Some take the time to care, A lot are triple or fourth booster shot vaccinated, but are not informed or even don't consider that they might get another variant strain of it. Even while wearing the mask, is possible to be spread. Humans I've seen going to Catholic churches after all these years, human million people suffered and died. And these are religious humans, priests, ministers, still opening wrongly these churches and handing the sacrament of Jesus' wafer to them. Humans take the mask off and put the wafer in the mouth, with over 100 people present in a church. None of the humans were screened at the door, for even if they had proof of vaccination against the coronavirus or the certain variant strain that they were actually vaccinated against fourth booster shot. 100 people in that one mass alone, and humans entered there, endangered the lives potentially of those 100 people, getting any, and a lot of people are being stupid, enter without even being vaccinated at all, endangering the lives of 100 million people potentially. This is already after 100 million people died and suffered. No human knows, no, all the humans know rather that what the humans live through on this earth, seeing these all people suffer during the pandemic, and how humans did the effort on most part, the ones that care. And it's all job of all humans to care, to respect their own lives and the human dignity of other humans, to be healthy and never to get the virus, just simply because humans are being lazy, not taking the time patient to educate themselves about the coronavirus and variant strains, the simple information what they are, what possible vaccines they are, what health concerns they have, which proper vaccine is for them. It is still human free will of choice to get the vaccine, but I did my own research. I studied life sciences and lived through different things. I know, according to my research and others, I personally have the third booster shot of Moderna. I never had any side effects except simple or the injection site of the muscle, some mild discomfort pain, but that's expected when injected with a small needle of the vaccine. Most people have no allergies to these. These are not the exact, like a sample of the actual coronavirus. Is an mRNA vaccine. I am getting the fourth booster shot. I believe it's safe. I choose to be protected against the coronavirus and those variant exact strains that the vaccine is intended to build antibodies against. In case if I were to get, then the body knows it has antibodies to fight off before I get symptoms of it. I, Angelica Jacella, am telling everyone, please, if everyone does their part to prevent the spread of this coronavirus, the variant strains, it has been, I understand, over almost 4 years since existed. It was a long time. A lot of humans suffered. A lot of humans suffered seeing other humans suffer. A lot of people isolate themselves, did their part, is not easy to do. Humans, adults, children stayed away from other human adults and children, animals, took the time, wore the masks, sat away from one another. They stayed 2 meters apart. They did the part to prevent the spread of this dangerous, harmful coronavirus and variant strains. It is not easy. People in long-term care facilities were isolated in case to prevent the spread with nothing to do. It was a very long time. Humans suffered in these reasons as well. To prevent, did the part, cared for themselves, others. suffered even alone, sitting there and protected in quarantine, and other humans to help prevent the spread. Humans stayed indoors at times. Humans had malls closed at times, coffee shops, restaurants. The all humanity did the part. Then over the months, years, is humans some making up bullshit that the virus is gone. Other humans hear this believing it, but this is bullshit. There are people not educated in terms of what viruses are, what the coronavirus still is. This is beyond wrong. It is every human's job to educate, and after all this very, very long 4 years, not everyone is doing the part after they've seen 100 million people lives lost. It's not a second that even humans suffered or died. This is a 2-week long human suffering. Respiratory ailments, health concerns, high temperatures. Other humans get different symptoms. No human wants to live through. This is not a second. These are 2 long weeks. No human wants to suffer 2 long weeks and potentially die and have a family member lost, a parent, a child, a animal, a pet, loved one. This affects the lives of humans that have emotions. The humans have souls. They have lives. They have human dignity of God to be respected at all times. Every human deserves to be treated with respect, to be healthy, and when humans did the ones that care in all times, this effort cannot go to waste. This is unfortunate how these variant strains do exist now after all these years, and there are no vaccines. So please keep in mind there are no cures. A human continue to wear the masks. If you're not going to wear the mask, then stay home in a place where there's no other humans and animals. Do not endanger the lives of other people. If you're not gonna respect the lives of others, then stay away. Other humans don't want to get sick and die. Please keep this in mind. Especially little children. They do not know what's going on. They're little children. Innocent animals don't have intellectual capabilities to figure out what a virus is if they're ill. No animals and pets want to get ill. Because some human is being negligent and stupid, doesn't wear a mask, careless. The humans I've seen are telling close down the schools. I human crying, I see these people. The children there, they after suffered 100 million people died. There's not even an adult to save and stay 2 meters away. They all have the mask off, high school students, elementary school students, little children walking with masks off, talking to one another. The teachers walk and they're not looking at them even to say, please wear the mask. Help the children, inform them. They're talking there outside the high schools, 100 students, less than a meter away with all masks off. Not one principal, not one teacher standing there with little children to tell them, please wear the mask, remind them, tell them to go home. The socializing 100 students outside the school when the school day ended and talking there with the masks off. The children walking to schools in line with masks off. 2-year-olds, 5-year-olds, high school teenagers. These many schools, and this was in Toronto, in Ontario, different cities in Canada. This is after already 3-4 years that this virus existed. If one student at these places and a child caught the coronavirus or a worse variant mutant strain of it, then it would spread to other of those 100 students. We are breathing it out And the student is less than a meter away, not even 2 meters away, even with a mask, had no mask. There's some humans walking by with dogs, no masks. Humans have cats, pets, they don't have masks. They easily have lungs, rather, and have easily can catch the coronavirus and their variant strains. Kids in cafeterias, children. Angelica Jacella Alist Care, that's why I'm stating this. I am a human earth angel. A human earth angel is a human being that every human is capable of being. That is a human that uses virtues within them of caring, kindness, the virtue of mercy. To take the time patiently, a human is virtue in itself. To care, another virtue. To educate themselves and care about what the coronavirus is, and to take the time to care about the health of themselves and to spread this knowledge and care for the health of others. Humans, especially the elderly, disabled, the most vulnerable to get this coronavirus or variant strains, little children, babies, dogs, pets, animals, other all living creatures. To have mercy on these humans, to know that to prevent the suffering of them. To let them know information if you know and learn, take the few seconds to be updated as to what the various strains of the coronavirus variant are these days. Simply found on the World Health Organization websites and other websites in the world. Please wear the most updated masks. Seal them on the face of yourself as best you can, pinched on the top on the nose, the top part of it to seal it properly. Wear the masks once, disposable ones, properly made of materials authorized by credible companies in the world. And do your part to prevent the spread of this horrible coronavirus and variant different mutant strains that do exist. Please continue to do so. There are no miracle workers on earth to heal anyone, unfortunately, with holy powers of God to perform miracles. So humans and have no cures. There are only the certain vaccines against the exact strain or form of the coronavirus. And are those exact forms of the variant strains of the coronavirus. Those vaccines do not protect and may help antibodies in a human against other variant, different changed form strains of the coronavirus. So please keep this in mind. Everyone here who is triple vaccinated or the fourth booster shot vaccinated, they still have the potential of getting a different variant strain of the coronavirus and cannot fight it off. They are not immune to it. The vaccines that they have are not created to fight off, to have antibodies that a human rather can fight off this certain different variant strain of the coronavirus that the vaccine is not made to create antibodies against. So please listen to what I just mentioned. This is a serious matter. Some people might have not considered this. They think that they are triple or fourth booster shot vaccinated. Some might not be informed, so it takes a human to be kind-hearted and be a human earth angel. Selflessly, when choose, Take the time to inform, educate yourself, and spread this information to others. Because a lot of people, some are not educated, don't know anything about viruses, is understandable, is not easy to understand. A human has to learn certain medical knowledge, and basic information can be learned and has to be told by word of mouth or send messages to humans online to let them know, ask a medical doctor, someone they know in medical field, general practitioner, and for to take the time and ask someone to inform yourself. And then let others, when you know, see any human even walking, take a second, say, did you know this information about the coronavirus, the vaccines, the current ones? Did you know if you're triple, fourth vaccinated, you still have to be careful. You might get a different variant strain. You cannot still fight off the other one. The vaccines you have from the third and fourth booster shot and the first two do not protect you from the other different forms of it. When a human spreads this information, then another human will spread and humans will know. And it will help prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Simple reminders of humans, please wear a proper mask. Please go to stores. Take the second online to find the real mask that protects from the coronavirus as best they can. They prevent the spread, the mask, but they do not rather entirely protect a human from getting any coronavirus or variant strains. They're not sealed entirely on the human face, and humans still breathe. That's why humans, even wearing a mask, have to stay 2 meters away from one another. Keep their distance apart to prevent the particles of the virus from spreading from one human to another after the human breathes them out, and might leave on the side of the mask the particles of the virus on the sides of the mask to others. So even while wearing a mask rather, humans have to do their part. Takes a few seconds and to think things through and remember to stay 2 meters away from another human being, an animal, a pet, loved pet, a child, a little baby. Old people especially are not easily can fight off any viruses. It's a lot more difficult for humans when older to fight off any viruses, especially even if have vaccines. The other humans have allergies or different health concerns. Has to be considered. So please everyone do your part. Take care of the little children. Every human's life affects your decision. The decision of one human rather affects the lives of potentially 100 million other people's lives and health. If one human stops and to think in a few seconds and to care to properly sanitize themselves, wash their hands is better than the sanitizers with soap and water to wash the human hands for number 10 to 20 seconds with proper soap. It'll kill most of the virus and really flush it down the drain. Then humans will prevent the spread of this virus. The more it is prevented from spreading, then eventually will die off. And hopefully this is sooner than later. It's been on Earth for way too long. Unfortunately, there's been mutated forms of the coronavirus that humans already understandable is beyond tired of this and suffered and seen other humans suffer, but that is why humans already know this to continue informing, reminding other humans when it's safe though. Don't approach humans if it's not safe to do. Only approach if it's a parent there or caregiver to the children of a child to remind them. Wear some masks, the proper ones, inform them which ones they are. If you remember a store which sells the real masks and then the proper ones online, please let people know. There's no human should suffer. It's unfortunate with the world. These high paid these companies rather that make $100 million are still selling The masks, these blue and white masks that look like medical masks but do not protect from any, filter out any particles or viruses or bacteria. They are made for maybe to prevent the spread of human breathing some dust or some airborne particles. These are not, don't have a rating, any particle rather efficacy filtration rating on it for how much the mask filters out the certain particles of the virus. Most of the masks, the proper ones, have a 97% or more of this rating percentage that block out, and it states that it's meant to help prevent the spread of coronavirus. On the packaging, make sure the packaging, and you inform yourself, and if you do find one that's proper, please help let other people know and spread this information to make their lives easier, to let them know which company you bought it from, which mask is proper for the time, which website is selling proper ones, to help ease human lives. I am an educated human in medical matters, but I spent hours trying to find a simple mask that I even knew this looked up, took many minutes and not easy to do, unfortunately, on head even websites on, and I'm educated on what this terminology is, was not easy to find. Unfortunately, still after over 4 years. To find what the new updated proper masks are that a human needs to have best to prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains. The websites, there are many still selling these other masks. This is beyond wrong. Humans buying these, not educated, and are endangering lives not knowing that these do not these don't help to prevent the spread of coronavirus or viruses or bacteria. They only help prevent a human breathing in potentially some dust particles. They're made for workplace, but look like the medical blue masks, blue and white masks, disposable ones. There's still 100 million of these masks sold on the main websites such as Amazon and the other head companies. This is beyond unfortunate. They don't even state that it's not easy, and I'm human educated and took even hard time for me to find this information, and I know what that means. To find a proper mask, that even most of the images there do not have a proper picture of the actual packaging of the box and the expiry date, which is needed because it is a purpose for medical purposes. If every of these masks has to be within expiry date because they're made of certain chemicals already, certain particles that break down over time, and it will not be efficient in properly protecting a human to prevent the spread of coronavirus and their variant strains and or other bacterial viruses depending what the mask is used for. These images are blurred out on such even main websites such as Amazon. There are no expiry dates stated there on the packaging before human purchase them. There is only maybe one package there stated clearly which one is for certified in the Canadian company or the American or main ones in the States. The main companies from China that made the proper masks. The N95 mask, N95 mask, these ones. There's a certification numbers on these masks on the World Health Organization website and other ones. There's the NIOSH rating. These are a number that can be found online. Rather, the number of a certain certified mask that can be checked online to see if it's the real mask to help prevent the spread of coronavirus. A lot of these websites still have, after over 4 years, selling the fake masks. They don't state, and it's not easy to find. I spend hours trying to find one and looking. Even I noticed to look for these certain the ratings, the numbers, certification numbers. These what other most people don't know about this. And I even with this knowledge couldn't easily find one package of a certain proper mask after searching for over an hour on especially even Amazon and different websites in the world, the main ones that already for years know what a human suffered, and that could easily put these ratings in the company's head and World Health Organization already stated, and other head companies and pharmaceutical companies and doctors already put the effort in to state that these have to be certified a certain way. Can only be purchased these specific types of masks that are certified. And these websites still sell these packages with blurred out images with no stated their expiry dates. They look like the medical masks, the other ones that seal almost the whole face with the four and five layers. The disposable masks, the respirator ones, but they don't state any certification numbers. They don't have the NISH ratings stated on the packaging on the screen where it's advertised. They don't have any other information that's needed, the PFE rating of the percentage of how many particles that it filters out of bacteria or viruses. These masks. And still, there's 100 million people saying that these are medical masks, so please inform them that the other ones are not. Please take this second if you find one, proper company and a proper expiry date stated on it, with the certification, proper numbers, the proper PFE percentage rating that says how much it filters out, how many bacteria virus particles, 97%, 99%, to spread this knowledge to other humans, please. Please help ease other humans' lives. These are not a lot of people that are not educated and don't know about this. It'll help save 100 million people's health and lives. And a strain that less a human heart looking for these, even educated humans have a hard time knowing about this, and to find a proper package of one mask to purchase. And even on well-known websites that been there already know about this for over 4 years. But unfortunately, these companies, please be aware, are still most of them selling because they need to make money, and are negligent to the needs of others to think of first, and careless is beyond disgraceful, disheartening to see after how many million people lost their lives and suffered after all these years not to continue to do their part to help humans to prevent the spread of these viruses gone from the world and the variant strains. Other main websites, companies, stores selling even expired masks. People purchase them, don't know to look at expiry dates. There's no signs. Please, companies, put the signs. It is simple. Put a picture there. It takes a few pennies, a few seconds, and you have millions of dollars. Save human lives. If you don't want to get coronavirus, you the managers, you the creators of these companies, these are 100 million people that are willing to purchase the right mask to save their health and lives of their parents, of themselves, of animals, of 100 million people choosing to care and respect the lives of themselves and health and of others. And they would easily and make it easier for them to purchase, to find one proper mask on your online website. Educate yourself, take the few seconds, sell a proper mask. You'll make more money that way and save the heart of 100 million people, less strain their heart looking and had lives and health, potentially save the 100 million people from suffering getting the coronavirus when you stop selling those other fake masks and you properly post information about the real masks and sell more of those. And this goes for all countries. This is not only in Canada. I've heard this about the States, about all countries in the world. This is beyond disgraceful how humanity, there's still the main companies, pharmaceutical companies, other well-known marketing companies, stores, still after making the money misinforming humans selling the cheaper masks, and that don't work to prevent the spread of the virus. And many people are lives being lost, suffering, and dying. Then the virus is spreading and not being less spread in the world and exist. And then viruses are very dangerous because they change forms over time. They mutate. And when it changes a mutant form, even if someone has a vaccine against one virus, such as coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, if another variant strain exists, changes form, then a human is not vaccinated against that one, can easily get it and be ill, suffer over 2 weeks and die. So please, all humans, do your part. Care for your health, care for the health of others. As I stated, there is no cure. There's no humans that are immune to coronavirus. And there are variant strains of it. Other variant strains exist. Please, everyone, especially take care of the children. They are not educated in these matters and need constant care and supervision. Be kind, use your virtues. Stay there, protect your children. Tell them to stay home. Don't bring them to school if you know there's going to be parents and other people that are even not informed, and inform them. If there's going to be other teachers, principals, if you know, are opening schools and nurseries and preschools, elementary schools, high schools, even universities, where there's going to be even too many students, and they're going to have staff that are not going to pay attention to make sure that children have their hands washed, to eat 2 meters away and more from students, and maybe not even have only few in a whole entire big room. If there's going to be more humans there, then a room is not safe for anyone to be in, especially children. I, Angelica Jacella, advise, and please do your part, at least I care. This has been, I know, a long time, but it has to be prevented from spreading this virus, or else it won't be gone from the world. So if humans do their part and stay home. In most countries now it is cold anyway, so stay somewhere where it's warm. Avoid going to any coffee shops, well-known restaurants, or all of them. Order takeout if needed. Make sure the employees wear a mask though if giving you food. Purchase food and rather even be safer from stores. Wear the mask. Don't eat food in front of humans. Don't share food. Don't share beverages, especially if you're eating with a mask off. Make sure you're at least 2 meters away. Really stay, or eat a whole entire table away, over 2 meters away from another human, and put a mask on as soon as possible. Even if you're a triple or fourth booster shot vaccinated, you might still get a different variant strain of it and spread it to someone else. Other humans' lives might be affected wrongly, get ill, and die. That will affect other humans. Crying might have patients. Other parents might have children, lose a parent, lose a child due to the virus, lose a dog, patient, pet cared for. Different animals, creatures can get it. Don't know what it is, suffering needlessly. It'll spread. Then it's not easy. Then it might spread to someone else. So if humans continue to do their part to prevent this spread, then the virus will die out, cannot be spread from one human or to another living creature at all. Sanitize work areas is not only humans wear a mask to prevent this, properly sanitize areas, especially, what might have been affected where the coronavirus might be. It does exist on surfaces for hours to even days and doesn't die. So everyone, please remember, stay home. Most of the world is already in Canada states now. Cold temperatures, snowing, wind. Please stay indoors. Go out when need to, obviously, but keep your distance. It does spread the virus when it's colder more easily and is windy. By humans breathing as well, this into the air, this virus and their variant strains. Save your health. It is most important. No humans can heal miraculously themselves. There are no miracle workers in the world, no cures against coronavirus and variant strains. Please care for the children. Keep them at home. There are online resources to teach children. Teach them with respect. Their life and health is most important, especially during COVID times, till schools can open when it's totally gone. Human health and lives are more important to save than a human walking in the cold anyway might get sick even with a cold or virus get to go to learn something. Teach children the proper morals and virtues what to use to help others. Teach them to care for their health, basic information about the coronavirus, wearing proper masks, sanitizing themselves, wash their hands, to spare time alone when can, but away from other humans, that is with 2 meters away, proper social distancing. Take the time to remind the children as many times as needed. It is a parent's caregiver's job to keep in mind and care, to constantly care and supervise a child. And if you notice other humans not even educated, especially, please let them know, help them, inform them. Take the time from the heart, be human earth angels. Kindly let them inform them the child you've seen without mask, let them know to let the child know to wear masks to help them. Make sure to tell the children not to share food, snacks. Kids eat their own food 2 meters away or more even from another child, parents, animals. Inform every human, even animals, pets, have a respiratory tract and can easily get the coronavirus under variant strains. Pets. This is all information that humans, some not educated, simply could have, and other humans have to keep remind or even tell to keep in mind and focus in their own thoughts as well when no. Everyone, please take the time to be well rested, sleep enough, 8 hours as needed. Get up, plan ahead, write notes down to pack, plan ahead, properly sanitize masks, to take sanitizers when needed, wash hands before going somewhere with soap and water 10 to 20 seconds. Prevent the spread as much as you can. Help others, keep reminding them as much as needed this information. Stay 2 meters away from humans at least. Wear a mask properly as fitted on your face as possible. It's understandable humans still have to breathe air, but seal it the best you can. That doesn't prevent you from having a breathing problem, to prevent the spread of this virus and the variant strains of coronavirus. Everyone, stay home or find a place to go where there's not no other people there. Make sure that screening is still important for if really needed to go somewhere for with a triple, or now they have the fourth booster shot vaccinated after the third booster shot. For only though for the keep in mind the antibodies to make against the exact form of the coronavirus that they're vaccinated against. And the fourth booster shot has the other variant strains that the vaccine is intended to make antibodies in a human against that exact mutant changed form of the coronavirus only, not other variant strains or forms of it. Everyone, please, and head companies, human lives and health are more important first. If you're not going to care about the health and lives of your employees and your patrons and customers, then please do not open your coffee shops. Close the coffee shops, close the restaurants while the coronavirus is in the world, and care and save the lives of 100 million people. And priests, ministers, all religious leaders, cardinals, bishops, archbishops, whose job is to morally do what's right to care for the health and spiritual well-being of humans, that their paycheck is made for, designed to do your part. Other vicar generals, higher level religious human individuals, the Pope, Pope Francis, Angelica, human earth angel, I'm speaking to you personally and all. You are morally obligated under God, as God's representatives on earth, to respect the human dignity that every human has of God, of their health to be maintained proper, and the respect their spiritual right, moral well-being, to use your own virtues to care for other humans, and make sure that you care for their health and lives and spiritual being so that human is healthy and respected at all times by you. The ministers, the priests, the bishops, archbishops, cardinals, vicar generals, all those, the head leaders, religious leaders of worship in Islam, the Muslims, the Buddhists, the Jewish people, the Catholics, all well-known Christian religions, all the other Christian more minor religions, all you religious leaders, you have to close your places of worship. Prevent the spread of coronavirus. Prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains of it. It is over 4 years, and you all didn't do your part to save the lives and health, and you're morally obligated under God what your paycheck is made for. If you do not do this, you cannot have your job and make that paycheck. A lot of you cared, ministers, religious world leaders. Unfortunately, the Pope, Pope Francis, did not make sure this is done properly in the world for over 4 years. And there's people, and it's his job, cannot make his paycheck and be Pope when he is God's representative on earth, didn't do his job for over 4 years to maintain this, that every place of worship be closed to prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains. Even when humans were vaccinated, then even the triple vaccinated one and fourth booster shots, Pope Francis did not maintain to all the priests, ministers, bishops, archbishops, cardinals, ministers, the vicar generals, and there are 100 million in the world, and other staff that work under them, that have paychecks, that are morally obligated under God to respect the human dignity in every human belong to God, to care for their health and respect their spiritual moral, to do the morally right thing, to inform humans, Do not go to places of worship to tell them God chooses you to be healthy. Jesus Christ chooses you to be healthy. The Holy Spirit chooses you to be healthy. They do not want you, humans, to suffer any ill health, to suffer any ill going on the way to places of worship, churches, Catholic churches, Islamic mosques, Buddhist temples, Jewish synagogues, other places of worship the Muslims have, other main religion places of worship, or most are an hour. Humans go on Sundays, mostly Catholics, and others in Saturdays for an hour-long worship, a mass of sorts. To mention certain prayers, hear readings from a priest or minister or religious leader. And then a lot of even Catholics get the religious way for Jesus. These are humans going there, and a lot, and not Pope Francis and these priests. There's some that do, that already closed the churches and kept that way. And in the world, other places, synagogues, mosques, temples, but there are 100 million still open. There's 100 people easily in most masses, in places of worship, where the humans do not have to go worship God, endangering their lives to hear a mass reading, to go there to mention, to get the way for Jesus when they choose, and endanger the lives of 100 people potentially in each church mass every time, and potentially spread on the way there. The coronavirus and variant strains. As I stated, I've been to main huge churches, even look, they're basilicas the size of a castle. Excuse me. Over 100 people entered the church, the basilica. No priest stood there that had this job morally obligated to do, screened any humans before entered for even having proof of vaccination. Little paper that humans have recorded. In each country has their own health organization that has the scannable code with their information when they were vaccinated for each vaccine. mRNA vaccine against coronavirus and the variant strains that the vaccine is for, third and fourth booster shot do exist. A lot of the priests I've seen in churches never screened anyone. They didn't do the morally obligated job under God to care for and respect the human dignity of of God, that every human has the right to be respected, their health, and didn't screen anyone before they entered this huge church and other churches, places of worship. And humans sat there and breathing the air with masks, and a lot of people, some are not vaccinated at all, but wear masks. Some don't wear the real masks that prevent the spread with the virus. There's humans wearing the non-medical masks that don't prevent the spread of the virus. Some even enter with a covering on the face that doesn't prevent the spread at all. And the humans enter there and sit there for an hour breathing the air and spreading potentially the virus and different mutant strains to all. And humans walking there going to get the religious wafer. During the middle of the mass, the priest giving it to them, disrespect potentially the health of 100 people in the church that went to get the wafer. To keep the distance with mass, but the humans put this wafer, take the mask off and put in their mouth. And there's other people waiting in line, not keeping most of the time the distance away from other humans. None were screened before entered for being vaccinated, even against any of them. And then potentially spread this virus and mutant strains after already 100 million people died for 4 years. And beyond heartless human cry to see these people still doing. These ministers, and I'm telling you, keep in mind, you're not doing what is morally right under God. You cannot do your job. You opened a church and you endangered the life of over 100 people in one day of worship, which God does not require a human to worship God. to risk their lives and health to enter a church. A human is recorded, keep in mind, in brain, mind, thought, and soul anywhere in the world what they pray is between them and God. It is enough for human to respect Jesus and God on day of rest. When God is resting, keep in mind, Catholics, all the other religious humans that believe in God and Jesus, God is resting on Sundays. So humans should rest on Sundays. Care for your health. Don't travel, especially till coronavirus and mutant strains are gone from the world, to any place of worship ever. Save your health. Save the health and lives of 100 million people. Prevent the spread that way as much as you can, then it will be gone from the world sooner than later. All coronavirus and variant strains. On other religions and on Saturdays and Sundays and other you have prayer groups, other monks and nuns, please keep in mind it is most important to care for the health of others. Every human brain, mind, physicality, their organs, the soul, the life belongs to God. And every human that chooses to care for the health, every cell down to the molecular DNA, RNA level, cellular, all levels of the brain, mind, physicality, and organs, the life force soul. When a human chooses to care for the health, then has to be respected. When a human cares this way, is a temple for the Holy Spirit. Every human has dignity of God to be respected, to be when they care for the health especially, to be respected by the other humans and all creation. So respect the health and lives of others. Be human earth angels. Use simple virtues. They're even highly valued by heaven, recorded in every human. To selflessly, without expecting anything in return. To think and be patient, take the time, educate yourselves about the virus, the variant strains, recent ones that could change day to day. Information, updated information is online. Consult physicians. Be educated. Spread this information to all. Care for your own health. Your health is most important. Your health is when you're healthy and then be happy, then others healthy and happy. Promote the health you know information, give it to others to tell them not to prevent the spread. Then they will let others know. Then every human will know this, then prevent the spread more, and sooner the virus will be gone from the world. It is not gone. Any human that tells you, and you hear in the stores everywhere, that the coronavirus and variant strain are gone is bullshit. There are worse strains. There are no cures, vaccines for these, even for vaccinated triple and fourth booster shot vaccinated humans. So ministers, please, close the churches. Close places of worship. Do you have online resources? You can make simple messages online to parishioners. A lot already exist. Refer them to, even once videos exist. If you choose to watch a mass, refer them to one of the online videos they can easily watch. Safe in their own home, safe, warm, won't endanger the lives and health of others potentially. It is your moral obligation under God and under your job title as a priest, a minister, religious leaders, the rabbis, the Jewish faith, the Islamic leaders, the Buddhist leaders, the Muslim leaders, all humans of religious titles of leaders, and especially that practice worship, leadership, and promote the word of God or Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and especially weekend masses. on Sundays, on Saturdays. There's other days that have potentially prayer groups where a lot of people go. There are online prayer groups. There are online resources human can join together, mentioned to pray. Perhaps send is more better to send online prayers, get contact information to the Holy Land in Jerusalem, to the Holy Mary Shrine in Lourdes in France, and other holy sites in Portugal and Poland and the world. Send, let the heavens know this. Pray, human is recorded in brain soul. It is safer for humans while this coronavirus is in the world to prevent the spread. Don't pray, go to worship places, buildings with other people, especially not even prove vaccinated, or screen a door, walk away. Tell the priest ministers close the churches. Do your part. If they don't, file complaints to the proper authorities, diocese, archdiocese. Do their part. Tell other humans. Take a second. Most people care. They don't. Some are not informed, not educated in medical matters. Simple telling someone will say, "Oh, this is not vaccinated. You consider this your health, and other people might get ill. You don't want a child or you to be ill 2 weeks and die from coronavirus and their variant strains. Did you consider this? This a minister priest is letting people in. Maybe you should walk away. Let other people know. Don't enter the church. Don't enter the mosque. Don't enter the temple. Don't enter the synagogue. Don't enter any other temples or buildings of worship, minister places, congregation halls. Any other universities have other little auditoriums for masses. Close them. When there's children there, don't walk little children to masses with other children present, and other humans don't know where they came from, especially. Humans could travel from different places in the world and have different variant strains, mutant, that the ones that are human vaccine in this particular other country might not be protected from. And Angelica stated these and put other article videos. Please read them. It takes a few seconds. Please spread this to 100 million people in the world. This is information that I've seen and through experience seen human crying. The vaccine only prevents from exact form of the virus that is intended for human to create antibodies against, not any other ones. So please inform and please send this get to mine. Don't get through or not, I don't know. Please help me if anyone has contact information to the head archdiocese, diocese, the other like these, but in different religions, head offices. There's 100 million. This is not what one human can do. I can only do so much. But if you please spread this video and do your part, inform these fine places that have spread contact numbers archdiocese to all their parishes, Catholic churches, to all the mosques in Islam, the Muslim, the other buildings, temples, Buddhist temples, other places of worship. Information like this spread to all. Close all places of worship. God doesn't have to be worshipped. God wants everyone to be healthy. Jesus Christ wants you to use your virtues to care for health. Do what Angelica mentioned, be human earth angels. Take the time to care and inform yourself about the health and the preventative measures of coronavirus and variant strains and spread to all. So prevent the spread of this virus as soon as possible to get rid of it that way in the world and be gone. Then sooner than the people can return if they choose is when it's gone entirely from the world, coronavirus and variant strains, when it's safe to do to open these buildings and people can congregate, choose to go worship is their business, right to do. But not when the coronavirus is still in the world. And variant strains and other humans traveling even have other health concerns can get on the way there. God wants humans to be healthy. Humans don't have to worship God. They keep in mind practice is respect his morally right ways and respect Jesus as well, his son, to follow his example, to use the virtues, to be of pure mind, clean mind heart, of clean mind and morals, to care for your health, to create a temple for the Holy Spirit in your brain, mind, heart, soul, and physicality, to care for your life and the health and rights and respect of others, all humans, animals, creation, young and old, at all times is more important than going to risk your life to get a Jesus wafer. You can easily, any human can mention to Jesus in the heart anywhere they are is recorded, can easily in their daily lives mention a simple thought. Respecting Jesus is still every human's choice to do, but doesn't have to be done in a place of worship. The heavens want every human to be healthy. They are, for some reason, not on earth, having any miracle workers. They are not present, keep in mind, to heal anyone. There are no cures. There are no vaccines for many of the major other health concerns in the world either, diseases. A human could even get the cold virus on the way when he's cold to a place of worship, when it's cold these days in Canada and States and other parts of the world. And then get a virus, different respiratory ailments, and bacteria. So it is safer, and well, till on especially COVID, the variant strains known as SARS-CoV-2, coronavirus, these Omicron variant, the B variant strains, Delta variant strains. There are other mutant, that means a changed form of the virus, strains of this coronavirus, and potentially has the capabilities of mutating. The new forms, keep in mind, of the coronavirus do transmit even more easily than the other one. So please keep in mind, even keep more distance away than 2 meters, a bit even more. Especially if you don't have a mask, stay away from other humans entirely. And animals, keep in mind, have respiratory tracts to breathe air in the lungs, could possibly get coronavirus and variant strains. Everyone, please do your part. Any other places you think of that you know that are public places, malls, especially ones with the stores that are indoors, please close them. Unless humans really screen, and these are monitored, scanned by humans vaccinated. But please keep in mind there are variant other strains. And the humans wearing the mask is entirely not protection against getting any other variant strains of coronavirus. Some humans are triple vaccinated, but are not fourth booster shot vaccinated. The fourth booster shot protects against different strains than the first two and 1, 2, and 3 created antibodies against that protect from. Then there's the other variant strains that a human potentially in the whole mall, 100 million people, could breathe and spread to, and has suffered 2 weeks horrendously and die, that have no vaccines, cures for. And then other people might spread, and it will never be gone from the world. It is more important for humans to care for their health. Only go out when purchase something. There are some stores letting people want to depart. The outside stores where the entrance is outdoors to one store at a time is safer that way. Make sure to keep your distance, wear the masks, even stay away from humans more than approximately 2 meters, even while wearing a mask, but make sure it's properly sealed on your face. Sanitize each time when entering. Wash your hands before going somewhere is more effective than the hand sanitizers. Care for the children, the old people. Keep in mind, humans when older, as I stated, cannot, their physicality is not easily can deal with any viruses. And if you think of any other places, public places, especially where many children are, tell them to close the doors. There are many resources for children to learn things. All they need to know is more good morals, educate what they think parents think that they're somewhat good at in terms of maybe on business side or in health concerns, health this, to respect others is most important. Educate what they can at that age. Prevent them. It knows it's not easy to do, but save the health and lives. Make sure they do not socialize with other children. Even purchase, this will bring joy to them, a little doll that they really like, a smile on its face, a teddy bear. Is tell them is always there to listen to them. It is a teddy bear, brings joy to even children or human adults at any age. This is a human and a child is safer and better off with their health to be properly sanitized though teddy bear or a doll. A child will be happier that way when they can't go outside and socialize with. It's safer to, even with staying 2 meters away. Is not It is safer for child to avoid other humans and children till this virus is gone. They might even with fourth booster shot vaccinated get a different strain. It could happen. There's all various strains changing, mutating forms in the world. So until it's gone, prevent the spread. Then it might take a few doing a second, hopefully less. Already been on the earth for years. Then when it is prevent the spread, then the virus dies out, and then it will be gone. So take still, it is not easy to do. All humans supervise your children. Even from pets, keep in mind. If a dog goes outside, a pet, a kitten, they don't know where they breathe the air from. Someone could have walked by. There's people walking with no masks on. They think there's no one there. Don't keep in mind that animals, some don't, humans don't know this. Please spread this. Make online posts as much as you can. It's easy. Some people can tag these 200 people, prayer groups, other well-known already, can easily put a tag. Simple stated information I mentioned. Other people don't know. There's a lot of people that still don't know about this and already for over 4 years. Simple information that they can read this, even put a one to print a one they can carry with them. To consider this information spread to all to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Variant strains of it, and hopefully be gone from the world as soon as possible. And I'm stating this again, not to be redundant, but all world leaders. Angelica Jacala, am a human educated in medical matters, in religious matters. I am a human earth angel. I've done my own research. I've lived through life experience for years. I've seen it all in different countries, different cities, pharmaceutical companies, smarten up, respect the human dignity and health of all, big marketing companies, store companies, restaurants, coffee shops, especially the main ones, retailers, especially the head ones. You already made the money. Close the doors. When it's safe to do in small locations when needed, then humans screen the humans. Fourth booster shot. Make sure the employees do their part to prevent the spread with preventative measures. Only let humans in at a time when really needed. In a whole mall, close the doors. Don't let anyone enter, even triple, fourth booster shot vaccinated. There are other strains. Human health is more important. There are online resources. When the human already have to purchase things online, make sure it's properly sanitized. The products, the packaging, the virus could spread. Make sure your employees always wear masks. Do the part. Prevent the spread of coronavirus, variant strains. Every human has to do the part. Respect their health and potentially affects the lives and health of 100 million people. If one human prevents the spread, then they won't spread the virus to anyone else. Then it will not spread anywhere and it will be gone from the world as soon as possible. It's all humans can do. There are no cures. There are no vaccines against even the new strains, different ones of coronavirus. The Pope, do your job. You have high level You have a high-level job title. You are God's representative on earth. Pope Francis. I am a human earth angel. I am telling you this word truth of God. You have to smarten up. You have to respect the human dignity that given by God of 100 million people, of animals, and all other creation. Stop doing what you're always on Twitter. You're doing what are promoting the God side certain things about certain things is morally right, but you're not doing anything in the world and you have all the staff and resources with your job title, huge amounts of power to accomplish on this earth what you haven't been doing since you became Pope. I unfortunately do not, and I'm supposed to be assisted by you in my matters, spiritual, but I've never come across any, and when I contacted you, didn't get any response for over 23 years. And you're the one that has to do your job on this earth to help me and 100 million people. You're morally obligated with your job title and all those under you at the Vatican, in Rome, all the cardinals, bishops, archbishops under you, and all in the world, all the priests employed, ministers, all those in the other countries' religions with religious jobs of leaders of worship in Islam, in the buildings of worship in Islamic mosques, in Buddhist temples, in Muslim temples, in Catholic churches, in Jewish synagogues, in the 100 million churches in Canada, in the States, in Australia, the other had big countries in the cities and all even small cities in the world. You are not doing your job. You have to do what's morally right under God. Do what your paycheck is made for. If you're not, you cannot be Pope. Find someone else who has the moral, really right representation, intent of doing right, God's job represent on earth, to save, prevent all humanity from the spread of coronavirus and variant strains. You have not been doing this for over 4 years. This 100 million church is open. No one's screening humans to even before they enter for a proof of vaccination against coronavirus booster shot 3 or 4. There's a priest giving wafers. Morally can't do their job doing this under God, and you didn't tell them and notify humans to not to do the priest ministers to let them know this information that I am speaking to you. I am a human being. I have been registered in Catholic churches for years and never noticed that you or any pope for over years did anything would have a huge powers and morally obligate under God as God represent on earth to do, to care further for the human health and well-being of humanity and all the living creatures. You have a huge power. You have a lot of power in your job title to accomplish what in the world, to other matters as well, and these especially in COVID times. In times when there's COVID and variant mutant changing form strains of the coronavirus. And you're morally obligated to do. You have easily have the staff under your power and command to accomplish this. You have all the contact numbers of all archdioceses and all curias, all the cardinals, bishops, archbishops, ministers, priests, those contact numbers of those of high-level religious job titles in the Buddhist religion, in the Muslims, in Islam, in the Jewish faith, and all other ones, all the ministers. You haven't been doing this for over 4 years. It is beyond disheartening and disgraceful how a human like you have huge power and morally obligated and representative of God on this earth to care and respect the human dignity within every human living being and creature. You didn't do your job and have each resource to do. 100 million day nights for over 4 years to enforce that the companies and have to listen to you because your job has huge powers that they have to do. The churches, especially in places of worship, to close them till the coronavirus and variant strains are gone entirely from the world. You didn't do what you're morally obligated in your job title to do. 100 million people's lives and health were endangered. 100 million people potentially got the coronavirus and variant strains for over 4 years and spread to other people suffered for 2 weeks horrendously respiratory ailments and other ailments and died. The human dignity was not respected. The human's health failed. You didn't use your virtues that you have within you and morally obligate under God to do. When you choose and under your job the title entitled and have to do, morally obligate to do under God, out of respect of Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, to help prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains. For over 4 years, you did not close places of worship. Pope Francis, cardinals, bishops, archbishops, priests, ministers, rabbis, other religious leaders in the Buddhist religion, Muslim Islam, other minor Christian religions, all morally obligated under God. You did not tell them or enforce this information to tell with the paycheck they're morally obligated rather under God to do. And out of respect of Jesus Christ, to set a morally good, right example and use the virtues to care and have mercy on humans so they don't suffer any coronavirus, any variant strains, any other health concerns, to inform them that it is more important for human health to be saved and care for maintained than for humans to go to practice worship. In public places, especially with no enforced screening of the main triple or fourth booster shot currently, not stopping the priests from giving humans the religious wafer, especially in the Catholic faith in Canada. I, Angelica, and know this is going on in the world. I've seen online. You haven't been doing your part and have the resources, as I stated. If you're not going to do this, then I, Angelica, suggest you find someone who will, to replace you as Pope. You cannot make your paycheck and disrespect the dignity of humans given by God. You did for over 4 years. You know right to do. You have to hear this. I am telling the truth on God's side. I am a human earth angel. Please share this information, Pope Francis or anyone, to Pope Francis. And all ministers, priests, and human religious individuals running especially places of worship, buildings that potentially and especially have a lot of people going to the masses, congregating, going to even congregation halls or auditoriums, to deliverance masses, to different reasons for public prayer groups. Please tell humans to stop kneeling. Respect the health. No human has to kneel. Humans remember God and Jesus and Holy Spirit care for humans to be healthy. They don't want to expect anyone to kneel at any age to them. They can easily mention safely from within their own homes, in their own heart, soul, record, and mind what their intent and prayers are for to the heavens. They expect humans to be morally right, a respect of God and Jesus and Holy Spirit, to care for the others. And unfortunately, there's the virus in the world and mutant strains, but it is the job and respect of human from one to another. And the Pope itself and all religious, morally obligated individuals and other staff in the world that have jobs, medical ones, psychiatrists and nurses and all, that swear oaths to God to make their paycheck to respect the health and dignity of all as well. To care for humans and to help prevent the spread of coronavirus and variant strains at all times. Otherwise, they cannot make their paycheck. If everyone does their part, the coronavirus will be gone from the world sooner. And then humans can go freely and happy and go walk when it's safe to do and go shopping and socialize. Adults, children, pets, and at least, but then we'll be safe. It is better to take the few, hopefully, it's been 4 years already, to continue to do everyone's part to prevent the spread as best they can, only what humans can. Then, when it's hopefully gone from the world, prevented from spreading, it'll die out, the virus, and not be there anymore, and humans can return to living their happy lives even more. Not alone, practicing quarantine, keeping in mind takes a lot of calories, human to think of. So please, everyone, remember, be well rested, plan ahead. If you're going somewhere, if you're in homes, please and remember, write down little notes. It's easier maybe to remind yourself if you have in your pocket or purse. Put to wear masks and social distancing, even for adults and children. Make a little copy to give to someone if you think they need information. I'm sure the smile you bring joy to humans saying this. You will help the other humans' lives and health to care for these, even spread to others this information. Any stores I state, please, Pope Francis, do your job. You have all the resources to do. I do not. I do not have the contact numbers. I am only one human, but you have all of them. Call your priest. You have them already all registered, all dioceses under them. Contact them easily. Can send a mass email to their parishes. It's as simple to read it, to hear this. And other posts Angelica made already typed, suffered on the world alone. Don't want to say why, but I'm on God's side. I've lived through different things on earth, and I'm telling you what humans need to be helped with. The health to be respected. This is morally obligated for you to do under God. Is your job. I'm sure you're kind enough hearted to do, and you do have the resources to take the time and get your staff the easily from Rome and everywhere in the world and every country. Unfortunately, has to be done in the States, in Canada, in all countries, to get them to close the churches and places of worship entirely till the virus is gone. Even the triple through four bottles are vaccinated, there's other variant strains humans can get. Is a need to prevent the spread. Close the churches, all places of worship, till the coronavirus is gone. You can take this and do right immediately have to act. Save the health and lives you're morally obligated to do of 100 million people, children, elderly, and animals, and all creation. Contact pharmaceutical companies, tell them to create, and the other companies, head ones, you have a job, huge power to do. Other humans, it's not easy for me, even medical knowledge, no, to contact, to even get contact information to them. They're doing what is morally not right under God, and you're supposed to, over 4 years, to contact them, and it's easily to contact them to make sure they sell the proper masks. Make sure they make proper vaccines. Make sure there are, to inform you, other researchers that are doing what is morally wrong and unethical, doing research about different variant strains, endangering the lives of 100 million people potentially, creating and testing out different mutant mRNA strains of the coronavirus. This is wrong under God, not allowable on earth. This is going on in the States and other places in the world. To inform you, please find out, you have all the resources to do immediately. This has been going on for a long time. If these mutant strains get out, the humanity is screwed. These are very virulent strains of the coronavirus. They spread very easily and mutate. There are no vaccines for these. What these heartless human researchers, certain ones, are doing is beyond immoral, is unethical, and wrong under God, has to be stopped immediately and found in the world, all of them. Properly shut down, put those humans in prison, the researchers and staff going on with this, and to properly sterilize and sanitize that place beyond means. To the damage, to kill every part of this, all of these variant mutant strains of this coronavirus that are not allowed to be on Earth. Immediately, every second counts. They've already been there in the world, and unfortunately there, and need to be stopped. All researchers doing morally wrong under God. They need to kill the virus, make sure it doesn't spread, seal off those facilities. These in the States I know of, and other countries, but I don't know any further details. These are not easy to find. You have the resources, and contact Ken and find other researchers and other ones that stay these online to help, and they would probably tell you where these places are safely and not endanger any human lives. And other medical researchers, do your part. Contact, you have the job of certain titles, but when safe to do, this needs to be stopped the spread. Keep in mind, third and fourth booster shots of humans, patients, animals do not prevent the spread, even wearing masks, of different virulent strains. Please inform your patients, as many people as possible. Simple tags, create a post somewhere online. Put on the World Health Organization this exact wording, please. I don't want to see, and I've seen these 100 million people suffering with this coronavirus and isolated in wards that they can't even go out in case to prevent spread and suffering there alone. And these other people suffering and dying. Other people, I don't want to say. Please, the Pope, Francis, do your job. Contact this, all you have to do and have the resources to do. You have humans under your job title in all of the world already. You can easily contact all ministers and synagogue and head leaders. Easily do now, immediately. January is the new year, 2023 year. And then they can spread the information to all ministers and all world leaders. And religious or not, to do the part, prevent this spread of coronavirus, variant strains at all costs. Look online. It takes a second. Go online, see the head World Health Organization website. Let them know this information. Contact head pharmaceutical companies. Do it now. Every second counts is the difference means between a human life affecting another one, preventing the spread of coronavirus, and the variant strains preventing a human from suffering 2 weeks and dying, then affecting potentially before that another human and animal. And this needs to be stopped, the spread of coronavirus and variant strains. But there's 100 million people that you, the Pope Francis, and other head world leaders in different organizations, the medical ones, the head pharmaceutical companies, the online retailers, the head ones of the head restaurants, coffee shops. You have all the resources. You are morally obligated to respect your job titles or paychecks made to hire and respect employees, right and dignity of employees, of your customers, all the humans that you employ. All these humans, keep in mind, they all have to respect the health and others' rights to be healthy and not to get the coronavirus and variant strains as well. Not all employees are doing this. Not all managers are enforcing this. These are already humans beyond already 4 years suffered and died millions. They're not all doing the part in the head office. They're not coming from head office, anyone, most of them, to care to go see in their restaurants, coffee shops, in the stores, in the malls to see what's going on. If the employees are putting proper signage to help enforce social distancing, proper sanitizing before entering these public places, before to make sure they're selling proper masks with signage of proper expiry dates on masks, with the proper certification numbers that it's a proper mask to prevent the spread of COVID help, with the particle filtration efficacy percentage rating to prevent the spread of viruses and bacteria, these masks, certified these, and to put this information in every store where they're sold is not being done. There's already 100 million stores I've seen. There's not one sign like this. There's 100 million stores still selling the other ones look like medical masks, blue and white, but do not prevent the spread of coronavirus. And most humans not informed think they're medical masks and bought them and potentially endanger the lives of 100 million people by not preventing the spread of the virus for over 4 years. And it's still going on. Human making money in pharmaceutical companies and stores, selling these to humans, these packages of 50, 100 blue and white masks, making money, but no stating humans think they're medical ones, no put signs even by now. I'm only one human. I cannot do this accomplish alone. You have the resources, all God, under God, the Pope morally obligated to do, didn't do for years. And all the other companies morally obligated under God when employing humans and to care for the humanity. You don't want to get sick and die, but you're endangering the lives of 100 million people in the world. You've been doing most of the ones that did, not all humans. There's a lot that care for employees, for the health and well-being of their customers as supposed to be. But many 100 million are not. Is to them making money is important. But they know what they're morally doing wrong is judged by God and every human if they know what they're doing right and morally doing wrong. And if they affect morally wrong another human being by caring to make money over human to sell donuts in a coffee shop and food, but no maintaining the screening of a human to have employees to stand one at a door to even check vaccination, to close the coffee shop, to make sure even humans maybe order outside, even safe distance, but make sure sanitized, proper everything with masks. There's even people going through drive-throughs. Some of them, all the employees might wear a mask, but people in vehicles, some wearing not. This is not allowable. Then close the coffee shop. Prevent the spread of coronavirus. Care for the human health. This is when if it's prevent the spread of coronavirus, then when it's stopped spreading, then it's gone, and then humans can sell what they want properly, and employ the employees they need, and make the money then. Human health is more important. Human lives are important. Money is not to be made, especially selling goods. Everyone that has a huge high job title, please listen to this video and everything I mentioned. These are carefully selectivized words. They all have meaning. This is from a human that saw humanity suffer horrendously for years in many ways. I've been in went to facilities and seen. I don't want this to spread, this virus. I am educated in medical matters and deal with medical lab research and my own and others know how to deal with. Angelica Gicella, a scholar in Christian religious studies, a devout human respect of God, his morally right ways, respect of Jesus. Every human, religious or not, has to respect God, be morally right, and respect the human dignity of God in every human and living creature, in humans, animals, all creation, the world at all times. The humans have to maintain this in the world when God is not in the world here present, performing miracles, or Jesus, Holy Spirit. It is only what humans can do, but a human can do only and do a lot if they help someone. It is highly valued by heaven, recorded in every soul, but it's not a human that's forced by God to do, but choose to morally do right, who use the virtues they have, kindness, compassion from the heart and soul, to selflessly to help human to see what the needs are, to patiently think things through, to educate themselves about these matters, their health and the other what human need, to help them then what they need to ease their suffering, prevent spread, inform them so other humans' suffering is prevented of coronavirus having other children, parents, animals, to help prevent this spread. For when in the kindness heart of human soul, these are virtues, kindness, compassion. This is the mercy, the virtue, as an example from Jesus, to have for all humans and all creatures, to selflessly without expecting anything in return, to help these humans, to prevent suffering, to ease human suffering. Excuse me. And then bring joy to humans' lives when the suffering is gone, prevent the spread as much as they can of coronavirus. All humans, the Pope, do your part. You do have high job title positions with all resources to accomplish this. All head pharmaceutical companies smarten up, stop making money, save lives. You don't yourself want to get coronavirus or your families. Other researchers morally doing wrong in the world, certain ones smarten up, don't endanger lives. You don't want to be ill either. You cannot endanger human lives. What you're doing is morally wrong. Stop it. Religious leaders close the churches, religious place of worship till the virus is gone. Prevent the spread all costs. Then sooner the virus and variant strains gone, then you can open churches, mosques, temples, all places in the world, congregation halls, auditoriums. Worship God as you choose. And other retailers, coffee shop, managers, the owners of companies, smarten up, do what's morally right, respect the human dignity of every human employee, patrons, customers, that you have your job title is you're making paycheck for and have to morally judge right by God to do on this earth, to respect every other human dignity, that to help and respect them all, their health first. And prevent the spread of COVID at all costs by all preventative measures there are, and all variant strains, prevent them at all costs. is first more important till it's gone from the world. When it prevents spreading, is gone, then you can focus more on still respect your patrons, open restaurants, stores, and then focus more on sales. First needs to be gone from the world. More important, human lives, health saved, 100 millions. Keep in mind, one human potentially getting ill. Third, four booster shot doesn't mean human is immune from any other variant strains. Could still get and spread to many people in stores, restaurants, coffee shops, malls, churches, cafeterias, schools, Catholic schools, other public schools, high schools, universities, nurseries, children, medical buildings, mental health wards, long-term care facilities. All managers, owners, do the part. You have the resources. Is easier than a human me or anyone trying to contact to find you. Is not easy to do for a layperson, a human with no, those job titles. You have all the already directories, phone numbers, can easily post, send an email to 100 million staff, employees, mention these wordings, mention this information, spread simple click, inform them, they tell them to in turn then after to notify everyone else is easily done. It has to be done for over 4 years. Please do it now. Every second count. Every second counts rather in human life. Between affecting a human suffering potentially with coronavirus or not, and then affecting another human and another creature, and it's spreading. If it's prevented with all preventative measures, it will be stopped spreading the world. 100 million health lives be saved. All humans' dignity of God within them to be respected as the way to have proper health and to live in peace and happy without the virus on world will be maintained. And then there'll be no virus in the world, and heaven on earth will be there for all, as should be for all times, for all humanity, all animals, all creatures at all times. My name is Angelica Giacchella. I am a human earth angel. Everyone else, please use your virtues. Be human earth angels, the Pope included, Pope Francis. All religious leaders, use your virtues within. Respect your human dignity within you of God and all humanity and all living creatures. And share this to all you're morally obligated to do. And in your job title to do. The Pope especially. And have all means of accomplishing this in the world. Angelique, as I stated, I'm only one human. I can only do so much. The rest it takes human to even I took the time to mention this in the world, to the world. This is one video, but this is from human life experience of many different years of seeing different things in different places. I put together care. This information needs to reach those proper human high-level job authority managers, owners of companies, the Pope himself. I do not have the resources to contact information, rather to reach these individuals. I need other humans to help reach them to get this video to them, information to the World Health Organization, to Pope Francis, to the main world religious leaders, to all religious human leaders and those that deal with that are leaders and ministers, priests, and other individuals that are leading the religious worship, masses, and other prayer groups going on where there's potentially many people present for worship in public places, religious public places, buildings. Please do your part. Please help me. My name is Angelica Giacchella. It is spelled Angelika. My last name is spelled Jakiela. I do have a Facebook group entitled Earth Angel Transcendental Kindness. I have a Facebook page entitled Angelica Jacella Earth Angel. There's certain further information that I spoke about these types, so it could be read and posts spread 200 million people immediately in the world. I put the work into this. A human is as only one human can do. I care and I need the help of all humanity in this. Please, everyone, help me. Then the virus will be gone if everyone helps this way, spreads this information. Sooner be gone, then everyone be happy, healthy all times, never hear of it again, and have heaven on earth at all times. Please act immediately. Do everything I mentioned. Be educated, care for your own health, be well rested, well informed about the most recent information about coronavirus and variant strains, the most up-to-date preventative, safe, healthy preventative measures, wearing masks, the proper ones, the proper hand sanitizers for health, the human hand washing, which soaps to use proper for health, properly sanitizing work areas, other surfaces that the coronavirus or variant strains might be on, and the human needs to be considering other variant strains, even if humans are wearing masks, being triple or four booster shot vaccinated. Please tell owners, managers, and stores by word of mouth, email. Please act, do immediately, contact to let them know to consider this that there are different variant strains. Even if humans wear masks, they don't properly protect themselves from a variant different strains that humans are vaccinated already against. Might get a different strain and become ill, potentially share it to others. Prevent the spread at all costs. Be human earth angels. Care for all humans. And bring heaven to all. Thank you for listening.